racing in MotoGP here in MUTLAK. This time around, Marques does indeed nail the start. He's going to get the whole shot into this tight first corner. Alex Marques slots into second place. Good start by Bagnaia from the second row. He's immediately up into P3. Going backwards is Morbidelli, who started on that front row. He's back now in sixth place.
That's what he must have feared from the inside, the dirty part of the grid. Morbidelli behind the two KTMs of Acosta and Binder. Acosta, the leading KTM, running fourth.
Yeah, this time around, Binder has made a great start. Aldeguer, who we saw super strong and aggressive on the first lap on Acosta in turn 5 yesterday, this time around his victim is Morbidelli. So Aldeguer up into fifth.
Well, Bagnaia certainly got a bit of front confidence in these early stages because he was having a look at Alex Marques there to try and take second place. So Marc Marques from Alex Marques. Bagnaia, though, does look a little bit more confident in these very early stages.
Just listen to the reception that Marc is getting as he drops down through turn 8 and 9 now through Marc Marques corner. So good around Aragon. They named that turn 10 after him back in 2018. Bagnaia coming with a big pressure once again from Acosta. Acosta already had one dip, had him on the brakes into the first corner. This time around he's going through, using the extra support of that bar front tyre down the hill into turn 12. Bagnaia thought better of that than going through 13 after what happened between him and Alex Marques here in the Grand Prix last year. But Acosta this time has got through up into P3.
He's been burned there before as Bagnaia, so he stays in fourth place, and this is an area of the circuit where the KTM generally is unmatched. It's so good down the straight, but he's towing Bagnaia down to that final corner. Bagnaia with the slipstream, and on the way into turn 16 he's able to park it on the inside of Pedro Acosta. Bagnaia, entertaining battle this for third place as the Marques brothers scamper clear at the front.
Certainly not lacking front end confidence and feeling was he on the brakes into turn 16 there, Bagnaia. You're decelerating all the way down in, well, from 350 kilometres an hour to abuse that front tyre.
Over Acosta then, hard on the brakes into turn 16. Just goes a little bit wide ever so slightly, but it's such a long corner. There's a variety of lines you can take through 16. Some give you the best run in, some give you the best run out. At turn 17, and Pedro Acosta is now right on the rear tyre of Bagnaia as the other KTM is defending. So one KTM goes forwards, Acosta to third, Binder goes backwards though, back to sixth place.
Second time Acosta's made a move, albeit briefly, on Bagnaia into the first corner. Once again, just like happened on the previous occasion, he just runs in that little bit too hot, and Bagnaia just able to stick to his normal line and sees that P3 straight back. What a shot that was on board with Acosta coming out of turn 17. Almost reach out and touch the rear tyre to get himself up in the 10th place. A bit of retribution there, I'm sure, from Mia on Miller from yesterday.
This was Morbidelli going in hot into turn 5 and relinquishing that 5th place back to Brian Binder. I have to say though, this is already a better race than I expected Pecco Bagnaia to be having at this stage. Running in third place, of course, his sprint yesterday was an unmitigated disaster. On the last lap, he was in the 47s, was Bagnaia, and only a tenth and a half slower than his teammate Marc Marques is going at the 40 years, just within a second of the race lead.
Is Acosta going to go for this time around? No, he almost runs into the back of Bagnaia. That's going to drop him back into the clutches of Binder. Marc passes wide on circuit then with a 147.426s
in third and fourth, a couple of tenths slower than Marc Marques is going. That is the fastest ever race lap we've seen around MotoGP and Aragon, but as Matt mentioned, only a tenth of a second faster than Alex Marques, who, as McKenny Vicini said on the grid before the race, he's got to try and keep the pressure on his older brother. Clear of Bastianini and Rins. Bezzecchi dropped down into the 47s on the last lap, back in 15th place, so we are now finally starting to see the pace that we knew Bezzecchi had from the sprint yesterday, but he is 9 seconds off the race lead, and surely a top 10 is the maximum that Bezzecchi can hope for today. This is the tail end of the top 10 with Mia, Quartararo and Vinales back before that 8th place, and Vinales once again showing the pace that he's got. He was also setting personal best last time around, which brought him right up to the tail of Quartararo and Mia.
Vinales trying to pick up some of that slipstream on that rapid KTM. Fair play to Quartararo, he's brilliant on the brakes. This looks like, as a contest, the race is over because Marc Marques is really turning the screw here. 147.180, that is now successive fastest laps of the Grand Prix. Astonishing 2019 season where every race he finished, he didn't finish lower than second place. 3 laps in a row now. Laps 8, 9 and 10. Marques has set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He has checked out. He has cleared off into the distance. This is now a race for second. There is Zarco then walking away from his crash when he was in a very lowly 13th.
Yeah, Alex Marques just was ever so slightly hot there into turn 1, but he was able to gather it up and still carry enough speed through turn 2. But Pecco Bagnaia sniffs second place here, and certainly if you'd offered him that at the end of the sprint yesterday, he would have bitten.
Was coming from behind him. Yeah, Costa maybe something through 16 and 17, because with that hard foot tyre, as good as he will be in terms of straight up and down braking, he just won't have the edge grip, he won't have the turning of those on the medium directly ahead of him. That would be something to consider in this Grand Prix. Late 46s, what a lap that is on 11 lap old tyres. 46.879. Oh, Binder's gone down. Binder slides out of contention then, as the tyres start to wear on this slippery, greasy Aragon surface. That's his crew chief there, Andres Madrid, who is sort of a very sort of cool and collected character, isn't he, Andres? He's absolutely raging. Binder then tips off going through turn 3, out of P5.
Well, we just wondered a lap or two ago whether the KTMs were struggling just to match this pace up ahead. Binder ultimately just losing touch, and ultimately losing touch with the racetrack through turn 3. New fastest lap on a 46.8, but Morbidelli's grip on fifth place is about to be loosened completely.
Oh, Fabio Quartararo's taking a tumble. Quartararo's down at the first corner. That is now going to be a third successive DNF for the Frenchman, who was cruelly denied a nailed-on certain victory at Silverstone with that damaged ride height device tipping off. That's going to be a front end washout, isn't it? We're moving into the second half of this Grand Prix, where front tyre wear clearly is going to be a big. We're coming into the latter stage of this Aragon Grand Prix, where those tyres are going to start turning to putty, aren't they? Down the hill we go. The Gian Antonio, Mir going aggressively on the inside into turn 14. Nice move that by Joan Mir. So that pushes him now up into P7.
He's got 3.5 seconds up to Morbidelli, who has recovered from that lap which saw him drop back into the clutches of Aldeguer. Morbidelli's back down in the low 47s now, as the Gian Antonio underlines the shortcomings of the Honda right now. We've been hearing it all through the winter, haven't we? That Honda is a much more rider-friendly motorcycle, but it's just not a match for the Ducatis in a straight line.
Yeah, I think Mir running in aggressively hot on the inside of Digia into 14. It really just sort of compromises rhythm going through 15 as well. Marco Bezzecchi's finally got himself up inside the top 10, and now he's doing a pretty respectable pace in the mid 47. It's taken him time to find his rhythm. It's taken his time to get going in this Grand Prix, but Bett's potentially rescuing a top 10 from 20th on the grid.
Gian Antonio, of course, was one of those riders yesterday who raced the medium rear in the sprint, was hoping that it was going to give him a genuine advantage. We're not really seeing it though, are we, at this stage, as Mir once again makes a move. This one though should be able to stick up the inside of Digia, and it's also opening the door for Maverick Vinales, who says thank you very much, and Gian Antonio loses 2 places.
Yeah, good ride this by Mir as he goes charging in hot into the reverse corkscrew, and Vinales got sucked into that one as well, didn't he? Down the hill into that
break as late as Frankie Morbidelli, but see how hard Morbidelli's pushing to try and keep the rookie at bay. That's going to be a bold move as Aldeguer attacks into turn 13 and he catches Morbidelli out.
Yeah, you know that Morbidelli was not going to give it up without an almighty fight. Bagnaia now has slipped 0.8 of a second as Morbidelli goes on the inside of Aldeguer. They rub knees, they rub elbows. Oh, this is all happening at nearly 350 kilometres an hour. Who's going to win the game of dare on the brakes at the end of the back straight? It's Morbidelli. Is he going to run it a little bit hot though? Can Aldeguer come to a tighter inside line? Two of the most uncompromising riders in MotoGP right now. Alex has definitely broken Bagnaia. Alex Marquez is in the 46s for the first time in this Grand Prix. He's broken now nearly a second clear out of Bagnaia, who surely now is not going to take any big risks. He's 2.5 seconds up the road from Acosta, but he's beaten in the last 2 Grand Prix in Le Mans and in Silverstone. But the response has been emphatic, to say the least.
This was Bezzecchi's move, but he just joined in progress on board at the inside of turn 15. Beautiful move onto Gian Antonio. Looks like he's running out of grip here. He's continuing to lap in the 148s. There are a number of riders up ahead of him who are lapping a second lap quicker at this stage than Digia is going, who might well yet find himself out of the top 10 if he's not careful. In the 6 previous MotoGP wins, of course he had to win.
Down.
Oh,
Pedro Acosta's gone down. Pedro Acosta, so the 2 factory KTMs. Alex Vinales, so difficult with the Red Bull sponsorship on the helmets and the leathers. It's Maverick Vinales. Apologies to the heart rate of Pedro Acosta fans who are watching at home.
Went early.
Turn 12, Maverick Vinales slips down the road. Just look how quick the response was from the marshals. Brilliant work as always from them. So he was just trying to go late on with me. I'll tell you what, full credit to Bagnaia. He's giving everything to try and wrestle that second place away from Alex.
8th place, he might yet catch Joan Mir on the final lap. He took half a second out of him on the last lap. He can continue to catch at that rate. He'll be with the Honda rider on the final lap.
Yeah, Rins might be rescuing the top 10 here as well. Second time, a magnificent 7th success here, and his beloved Aragon at one of his favourite circuits. Through the final corner he goes. Marques is a winning machine once again here in Motorland. He has dominated the 2025 Grand Prix of Aragon.